Ta-da! Welcome. So today I want to talk to you about who are the ancestors. This came out of a few discussions that I had with students, and also a few comments I got from under some French videos. Essentially, what the person was talking about was to say that you have, maybe some of you have good ancestors, but some of us have bad ancestors, people who didn't do anything that was good, anything that was worthy of honoring them or of even speaking about them. And I understand that in my tradition, sometimes when somebody does something that's negative, something that's outrageous, the name itself will be banned. No children will receive that name in the future. And the negativity attached to that name will simply be isolated, because that person will never be called upon or will never be honored in that manner, will never be spoken about. So there is this notion, that portion of it where we try to quote unquote punish those who harm us, or those who depart from us, or depart from the tradition, from the rule, or those who simply hurt and cause great harm to other members of their families or the community. However, the take that I'm going to take in this video is that sometimes it's too we are too used to looking at the negative, to searching for the negative, and I'll do a separate video on this. But it's to say that no person is all entirely good. Okay, we all have a shadow side. We all have something that we've done that was not that can be perceived as not being all that grand, all that good, and that's okay. And this is something that's recognized, that you shouldn't pretend to be perfect. Nobody is. You just need to relax and just be yourself, and do what is actually expected of you, which is doing your best in every single situation. Just doing your best is enough. Okay? So in that perspective, you have to understand that, of course, your ancestors made mistakes. Of course, your ancestors may have acted in a way that may now, from your perspective, be seen as inappropriate. Maybe they even cause harm to others, etc. and etc. It's not to say that you have to decipher, or that you know all about your ancestors, or all about a particular ancestors, I will say. Sometimes people are remembered for the bad thing they say, no matter how many good things they've done throughout their lives. That's why sometimes it's dangerous to reduce somebody to one action that they posed, because we will reduce a lifetime to few negative things. And you wouldn't want somebody to zoom into your own life and just pick out those things that you've done, the worst thing that you've done, and basically equate your entire life, your entire body of work to something that's negative. I think it's very reductive. It does not help us. It does not enable us to see people as they are, meaning with flaws. Okay, and you have in that way kind of have to separate the individual, the person with the body, the persona, the personality, and the ancestor, the person now that has left the body, that is now pure and simple energy, and in that form as energy, there may be things that did not align before that are aligning now. And if you are too stuck on the negativity, or on the actions that were made when the person was alive and in the body, then you may miss out on the opportunities that you have now to connect and reconnect with that person, now that they have joined the ancestors in the spirit realm. So it's important for you to understand those differences, and to accept that people have flaws, that people are imperfect, but that spirits are different. And that may enable you to actually understand that the decision that were made when they were alive may be seen now with your own perspective as something that's different, something that's not appropriate, something that you could have done better, because oftentimes it's easier to think that we can do better when we're not in a situation. It's always oftentimes easier to see things from afar when you are an onlooker than when you are actually the person going through that. And it's something to remember, the ancestors were once parents, they were once young adults, they were once teenagers, they were once children, they were once babies. And just like you, they walked the path. They probably also had resentment or things that they didn't like about other elders or other ancestors before you did. And I think this is something to take in consideration, because as you get older, the youth, the younger folks, may also blame you or see that you're not doing your best, or you have a completely different perspective of what you're doing. And you have to understand and humble yourself and have some humility in terms of understanding that sometimes people do their best with what they have. And you have to be okay with that. Okay? Because it's not about them, it's about you and your life. So some of the questions that were raised in terms of saying that, my ancestors don't deserve me to honor them in any form of shape or ways. And I think this was a response to my video on the basics on how to honor your ancestors, and I will link it somewhere here or here. Which I was basically saying that sometimes before you jump into doing all kind of rituals, before you jump into celebrating or stating formulas and incantation, however nilly-willy, the basic and the most amazing thing that you can do to honor your ancestor is to honor yourself, to take care of your children, to take care of those you love, to take the steps to take care of the people around you. I think that's what some of the steps that are being neglected. Oftentimes people think that they have to go way, way too far in order to actually connect with the ancestors. Taking care of the bloodline, knowing where your children are, taking care of your children no matter where they are. Having the willingness to provide and to protect your family. Not the entire world, not the entire race or culture or whatever else, but make sure that you are already at least willing to protect and provide for your own family. That should be an utmost concern of yours before you even think about doing any form of ritual, especially if you're not on the continent, if you're not part of a specific tradition or a specific tribe. Okay? Doing that lays the foundation for anything that is to come after that. Making sure you are honoring yourself, honoring your own belief, honoring the lifestyle that you want to take, and that you are taking care of your loved ones, of your children, your spouse if you have one, your partner if you have one, a girlfriend, whatever, and honoring your parents and the elders. So once you start doing that, then you'll see that shift in you. That will later on call you on to honor the ancestor in a more ritualistic way if you'd like to, but in a more profound way. But I think it's really hard to honor the ancestors when you're being disrespectful to your parents or disrespectful to your mate. Then when you don't care about your own children, it's going to make it a lot harder for you to gain the assistance, to gain sometimes even the acknowledgement of the ancestors when your path is like that, because in order for you to be honored, you have to be honorable. And being honorable doesn't take anything grand. It's not expected you to change the world or anything like that. It's just expecting you to do your best, in every single situation that you find yourself in. You don't have to go the extra mile, you just need to do your best. Okay, you don't have to be somebody else, you just need to be you. The best you can be in that situation. And I think if you do that, you'll see that you won't have any regrets. You won't have the what if this, what if that. And when you come before the ancestor with your hands washed and clean, without any regrets, without anything lumping or heavy on your heart, then you'll see that honoring them is not a chore. Honoring them becomes a celebration that is not clustered in some different aspect or facets of your life, but a celebration that's integrated within your day-to-day activities, within your day-to-day life. Because you will see that as you're taking care of your children and as you're looking at them, you're looking at your ancestors. As you're taking care of yourself and nurturing yourself, you are taking care of the ancestors. And then the ancestors started integrating every single facet of your life. And this goes also for those of you who don't have names that are part of your lineage, or you don't have names to call on that, or you don't bear the name of one of your ancestors like we do in my tradition, then you can see that that connection in terms of like the children that you do have, the family that you're taking care of, and by doing so you will feel the presence of the ancestors in those moments when you're looking into your children's eyes, when you are receiving love from their mother or from your parents. You are also going to feel the love of your ancestors. Now, if you find that your ancestors were not worthy of you honoring them and that you don't want to be connected to them, then you have free will. And that's the whole beauty of that. You can move countries, you can merge into a different tribe, you can marry somebody who's not from that tradition, and you can move on. Or you can even take care of children who are outside the tradition. You can do as you please, because there's no such thing as forcing you to do anything you don't want. The ancestors are not there for that, okay? And if you do actually honor yourself, in a way you are also wiping out some of that negativity that may have been residing within your bloodline or within your within your bloodline. So there are opportunities for you to redeem those ancestors if you'd like to as well. And you don't have to comply or to do what they've done. It's all about what you want to do with the life that is yours to live, that is yours to live, and live now. And I'll do another video on pain, because I do think that a lot of you are focused on pain when you should be actually focusing on the life that you do have, and the delicious things, the wonderful thing, the joy that's awaiting for you to embrace, rather than always going to a place of comfort that you may have known, which is pain, and rehashing the pain. Some of your ancestors may have suffered, but it's because they suffered that you don't have to suffer the same way. And I think that's an important thing to always remind yourself. You don't have to suffer anymore. They already suffered enough so that you can actually enjoy the life that is yours. And I think it is your choice to decide whether you do want to enjoy that life or not. And you have that right to enjoy the life that is yours. It is a right no matter where you are on the planet. And I do hope that you start to think about that a little bit more, that you start believing in that, and you start accepting, and you start actually choosing to do so. So I hope this video was useful, and I'll see you in the next. Bye bye.